Hey guys, happy hump day. It's Wednesday. So today we are on chapter 6 of A Well Done Professional Midlife Crisis. So this is a chapter that's pretty near and dear to my heart because it is entitled Flying Solo. And this chapter is really about people who want to start their own company. How many of you watching have at one point thought about starting your own business? I know lots and lots of people who, especially if they're in between things, they really start to think about, is going back to work for big brother or big sister really what I want to do? Do I really want to dive back into the politics of an organization? Or do I want to be thoughtful and maybe hang my own shingle out and start something new and fresh? So, this chapter is really about a lot of the things that you have to think about in order to be successful with your own business. Now, I will tell you the number one reason a lot of people do start their own business in their 40s or 50s is because of a professional midlife crisis. I absolutely know it fed into my desire to start Employment Resource Group. I was working with another search firm and I loved the business. So I knew that the business itself was something that I felt like I had found my life's vocation. But the reality is, I didn't like how business was being done. It was very transactional. It was 3 resumes to 3 clients and vice versa. And everything felt like we were just throwing things in, and you really didn't know the heartbeat of the organization. You didn't know the heartbeat of the candidate. You didn't really understand how would the candidate integrate in and would they get along with their teammates. None of that was really questioned, and it just didn't feel right because I knew that people get jobs because of their head or their resume, but they lost jobs because of what's in their heart or the values. So for me, this definitely fed into my professional midlife crisis and ultimately ended up in my hanging out my own shingle and starting ERG or Employment Research Group. Another reason that people start business is obviously from being terminated or being laid off. There's lots of reasons why people are getting laid off. People are downsizing right now. We've had changes in the economy. A million things have transpired in the 25 years that I've been in this business. But sometimes finding a new position can be really challenging. You have a non-compete. People don't want to relocate because their kids are of school age and they want to keep them in school, or they just really love the area of which they live and they love the neighborhood. And with having a non-compete, there's not a lot of competing businesses right in that same market. So this is where they have to be thoughtful on transferable competencies and all of that. And eventually they may get to the point where they say, you know what? I think I could do something on my own and really be successful. So the last thing that happens, and this is the one that nobody ever wants to talk about, but I got to tell you, it is really, really a true thing. It exists, and that's ageism. So I've often told candidates it is really hard to find your next vocation after 50. And again, you have a lot of work life ahead of you. You have a lot of knowledge, a lot of skill. But the problem is you become a very expensive hire for the new employer. So your compensation is typically higher, your benefits are typically higher. So that run, the length of your run, becomes a factor. And if there's a person who's 35 and you're 52 and you have similar competencies, they're a little bit less expensive, they have a longer run, they will tip to that candidate. And as much as I would love to say that doesn't exist, I would not be truthful if I didn't say it is very real. Now, they might tell you you're overqualified or any number of things, and you'll never know that it's ageism. But that is very much alive and well in our country today. So all of those things combined offer up for the opportunity to start your own business. So if you do decide to go the entrepreneurial route, I just want to talk about a couple of factors that I think need to be considered. They're all in the book in their totality and a lot of others besides a few of the factors we're going to talk about here. But as a Cliff Notes version, just a few things to think about. The first is capital. So one of the number one reasons businesses fail is because they're undercapitalized. You really need a very good, well thought out business plan. And then you need a great relationship with a financial institution that will support you through the highs and lows as you're starting your business. One of the things that if COVID-19 has taught us nothing, it's this: being well capitalized helps you to get through any of the challenges that can come at you, whether they're seen or unseen, much like COVID-19 is for us right now. The business plan is essential. You have to be able to show that you know how to make revenue, and you also have to be probably aware that it's going to be a little bit before you're going to be able to take income out of the business. So making sure that you are capitalized so that you can get through that as well. Thinking about what kind of business. I mean, obviously for me it was easy. I knew I wanted to stay in search. I was able to purchase my practice from my old boss and start Employment Resource Group. That's best case scenario. But think about, especially if you have a non-compete, I want you to think about the business that you're in and the business that you've been in a while. Because obviously if you're the ideal candidate of a well-done professional midlife crisis, you're probably between 45 and 55. And it's thinking about all the things that you're good at, and then the businesses that you've been in, is there a gap? Is there a place in the business that they're not servicing, so it wouldn't violate the non-compete, but that was absolutely a need that you saw and could be a way for you to start a revenue generating business? Is there a segment of the business that you could purchase? I mean, at any given time, you never know when someone might say, listen, I'm not going to run with this anymore, especially right now. Everybody's trying to keep hands on deck on the main part of their business. Is there a piece of the business that maybe you could purchase or that could be segmented off? Franchising. So that's the route that I took, and they helped me to be able to buy my practice. Franchising was really helpful in the beginning because for me, I'm not a systems and process person. I'm a salesperson. I mean, my job is to help clients to find great candidates and help candidates find great new positions. So putting together all the processes and all the systems that need to be put in place, that's not my gift. Nor could I really afford to hire a bunch of people that it would be their gift. So franchising seemed like a good option for me. And there are lots and lots of great franchising options out there that will give you a leg up. You'll start with the systems. You do have to pay royalties, and you have to weigh the cost benefit of getting those systems with what you pay in royalties. But again, it's just another option of something to look at. Thinking about generating revenue, that's thinking about what is the quickest line from A to Z, right? What are all the things you can do to start generating revenue quickly? Because obviously, you're going to take a hit to your income in the short term. And to think you're not going to do that is probably not being realistic. So you want to make sure you have 3 to 6 months in savings that you can go without an income before you start generating income. And same thing with benefits. Buying benefits as an independent business owner is not inexpensive by any means. And that was an area that I guess was probably the biggest surprise for me, was all the things that I needed that I really didn't think through in the beginning. Even though I thought I had a really well-done business plan and received financing right away, I really didn't think about all the technology, needing a CRM, product, people, all the different things that you have to buy to be ready to start a business. So being really thoughtful about not just how you're going to make money, but all the expenses that you're going to have as well. And then again, having a relationship with a great financial institution, that's an area where I will tell you I have been truly blessed to have the financial institution that I've been working with. They've worked with me through great times and bad times, just really, and more so even than just from a credit perspective, is really having that trusted advisor when it's you and a small group of people, to have that person that you can call and say, I just need to ask questions and have you help me learn to be a better business owner. So I've been very blessed in that. And I would always recommend that you get a great advisor, a great financial institution to do that. Lots of things to think about. But if you're serious about becoming an entrepreneur, this chapter will very much help you decide, should I find a new job or should I start my own firm? And both are a really big decision, but this chapter will really help you to do that. Be brutally honest. Review your to list. What are you really passionate about and what are you naturally good at? And then think hard and long if business ownership is right for you. It very well could be one of the best decisions you've made. I know I'm thrilled that I've, even with all the challenges that we've been through and that we're going through, I really can't imagine having not started Employment Resource Group, and maybe that's what's right for you. So good luck. If you need anything, please reach out. We're here to help.